The weather has improved in Los Angeles. It's actually quite beautiful today, out of nowhere. It started as a horribly hot day, and it also started as a day in which you thought that our second stimulus packages were dead. But boy, what a change of events. Everything is turning around. Negotiations are unfolding. Negotiations are continuing. Congressional leaders are not leaving town. They're trying to get this done. They're revising the bill as we speak. We're doing it. We are doing it. We're almost near the finish line, and boy, everything has changed in just a matter of hours. This is Afternoons LALATE. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Afternoons LA with really shocking details. This is a continuation of the video from before this, where I'll go more into detail about what is in the unfolding developments from the Temple of Doom and why our move with the Purple Power may be getting us to the finish line in a path that we never saw, but it's working. Boy, this is an incredibly great new day. In this video, I will be going over why suddenly, since even this morning, everything has turned for the positive, as your effort, the Purple Power, has really pushed the centrists, Republicans, and Democrats to get this done, has pushed people to make revisions to the bill, even since last night, has pushed people to understand you can't go home because we won't let you back into Washington if you don't have a deal for us. The message has gotten out loud and clear, and they literally are reacting to the Purple Power. Additionally, I'll be going over hazard pay, which is the subject of this channel, and why the return of something else may give you actually more money faster and guaranteed. I find money for you wherever I can. That's my job. And if you haven't already, go to the Fun's channel, subscribe, because boy, you can see my reaction on my face. I'm a happy camper at the moment. Last night I was not. I have every emotion on my shoulder for you for getting everything that you deserve. Also like this video, because this is going to be the most comprehensive set of videos in a day in which everything's changing. This is Afternoons LA that starts every day with a check at 3:30. This video is the hazard pay video, but it's also going to be a continuation of the video from before, because there's so much to go over in what's happening with second stimulus just this afternoon since morning's LA. Then after this will be FPUC, and additionally going through where that number could switch to if a deal is hatched in the next 24 hours. Finally, rent will be replaced again with election debate coverage, and why there's renewed hope for an executive order in that debate tonight. All right, let me get to the incredible, great breaking news minutes ago. The details are the following. The push of the Purple Power has been very clear. It's been a three-pronged push. A push behind the problem solvers, the Blue Dogs, the New Democrat Coalition, saying, support the problem solvers bill, get it passed. The other push, which appears to be the one that's really working, has been the push to say, hey, you don't give us stimulus, then when you leave Washington, D.C. to go home, you're gone, because we're not re-electing you. The effort of this channel from Seats for Stimulus, which did not just start yesterday, it's been a hashtag of this channel for, what, a couple weeks now, has been very clear. You don't give us stimulus, we're taking your seat. Well, tonight that's all changing, or this afternoon that's all changing, as congressional leaders have absolutely categorically changed everything they were doing less than 8 hours ago. And I'm going to say it's because of you. Less than 8 hours ago, they had said to Broadcast News that they were introducing a bill, which they did, and that they were going to put it up for a vote, which they haven't, and that once they put up for a vote, they're going to leave town and go home, and they're done. And that they were not going to talk to Steve Mnuchin anymore. Well, we reacted to it. Oh, you reacted to it very loud and clear on social media. Seats for Stimulus, you don't do it. You don't give a stimulus, you're gone. We will go through every incumbent that is voting for a very bad bill and leaves town with no stimulus for us till the month of November, and we will make sure that every single one of you is never reelected. Now, you can see my facial reaction this afternoon. The teeth look sort of good. But yesterday, I mean, you could actually see the fangs coming out of the bottom of my teeth and some, I do have a dragon, but I think I was turning into a dragon last night with the fire coming out of my nostrils. I was pissed. Oh, yeah, I was pissed. You saw me. And it was because that apparently these people were going to refuse to talk again. Well, this morning, that all changed. This morning, Steve Mnuchin and Nancy Pelosi had at least a 50-minute conversation, but there's some reports they had multiple conversations this morning. This was amid reports that they were only going to have one conversation this morning. It was going to be very brief, and it was going to be a final passing in the wind goodbye conversation. Well, it wasn't. It was continuing negotiation to make changes to the bill that she introduced yesterday that really has to have changes to it. And that shortly after that negotiations with Steve Mnuchin, she went back to her caucus, that's herself and herself, I guess, and made changes and discuss those changes. And that this afternoon, she's going to give a full briefing to her caucus of where they need to move to make changes as well. On the other side, half a dozen conversations between Meadows, Mnuchin, and the president to get this done. This amid, chat that the president has spent, 35 minutes preparing for tonight's debate. Well, in the scheme of things, we're sort of happy because he's spending more time on your stimulus checks. For once, we're going to be a little bit opportunistic and say, hey, yeah, can you just not spend any time on tonight's debate so we can spend some time on our stimulus checks? I think it's sort of more important at this point. You get elected, you don't get elected. Just give us our stimulus checks. Well, apparently, according to Meadows, there's been a lot of talks with the president just since Tuesday morning about getting this finalized. Oh, my goodness. This has been what you probably thought was happening, that over the last week and a half, Nancy and Stevie have had a lot of conversations, nearly daily, and I mean dozens, about getting the stimulus package done with the exclusion of Meadows. Apparently, that appears to have been her issue. And so Meadows has not been allowed to be in the negotiations, and whatever his name is has been excluded. And this is where we are today. Now, clearly the title of this video is hazard pay. So what about hazard pay? Okay, so you clearly saw last night when the bill got debuted, in the 2,000-page bill, which you can sort of, do a spider search for words, the Heroes Fund is no longer there. The hazard pay, which was never actually in the bill per se by those words, it was under essential workers, is gone. There is no longer hazard pay in this bill. What I had predicted to you for weeks is true. That Nancy Pelosi had not argued for it, fought for it, pushed for it, done anything for it, and was ready to kick it out to give money to Steve Mnuchin. Salary raises to Steve Mnuchin's Department of the Treasury. I'm not kidding. That's actually in there. Salary raises to the Patent Office, Copyright Office, the Parks, Bambi, Mr. Barr, or whatever his name is, head of Justice Department. Everyone's getting raises except us. Now, that's not good news. It's clearly not good news that gone is hazard pay. What is good news is that I'm here to find you money. And I will find you money wherever I can find you money. And what is good news is there is a buttload of EIDL grant money in here. Yeah. So a lot of my frontline workers who worked during the pandemic, and I understand some are not, and I'm certainly sensitive to that issue, but a lot of you who are frontline workers were or are independent contractors. You are self-employed. You are Uber and Lyft drivers. You are truckers. You are warehouse distributors who drive the things in. You work as a shipper for the markets. You are that type of person. Well, guess what? EIDL grant is coming back. EIDL grant is in this bill, and it's a lot of money. Now, we're back to like it's May all over again with me and the scars and Javita Late, but yeah, it doesn't have a lot of provisions, and that explains how we make sure that Javita doesn't just wrap you a scarf around you and sort of confuse you or put it over your eyes. Oh yeah, the grant's gone, grant's changed. It's not $10,000, is it? But the language is back in there. Grant within 3 days. So a lot of money is now available. There is additionally a hazard pay-ish provision in the bill for essential workers. But I'm not going to call it hazard pay $10,000 because it's not $10,000. It is a grant. It actually has no cap. It's issued by CDC, and it's for essential workers, but the definition of essential workers is more narrowly tailored than the essential workers we were always talking about in the $10,000 Heroes Fund initially. People have been asking me, but what about the airlines? What happened to that thing with the airlines deadline? Well, the deadline's still there. It's not gone. The deadline is still there. And the deadline is certainly being recognized by both sides. Mnuchin has said the deadline's an issue. Meadows has said the deadline's an issue. Pelosi said the deadline's an issue. Meadows said we'll do executive order if we don't get it done. Pelosi says here's $25 billion, exactly what you want, airlines. So everyone's giving the airlines what they want. The question is whether it's going to get us to the finish line, which is October 1st. American Airlines CEO Doug Parker said Sunday that he thinks it's going to get done. He thinks it's going to be a deal. There's enormous bipartisan support for it. We have Republicans, Democrats, the administration all saying, knowing that this is the right program, that it makes sense. That indeed should be extended because airline employees provide critical infrastructure. We have everyone putting us in every bill that they have, just need the bill to be laws. It sounds very Purple Power family-ish to me. We need laws, not bills. Oh my God, this is, I think he's been watching this show. That's what we're going to do, and I'm actually confident we're going to get it done. Ooh, I love this guy. There's just certainty about not much time left, but there's enough time. We just need them to come together and do what's best for the America and for our country, and certainly for the airline businesses. He said the situation is gradually improving, but there we are. They, of course, have an October 1st deadline, and we all know how October 1st is just, around the corner. Some people call the deadline October 2nd. Understand that if there is how do I say this? If there is a deal in the Senate and the House, but the president hasn't yet signed it, that may be for the purposes of where we are enough of a deal for everyone, including us, to be confident, because the president's going to sign it, because Steve Mnuchin's in the room saying this is something the president will sign. So that might buy us an extra day to have it signed on October 3rd or October 4th. 744 comments from yesterday. There's a lot of stuff to understand as we start the new afternoon. As we're dealing with this package, and this is what I want to go over. First, the package would provide $1,200 stimulus check for individuals, $2,400 for married couples. Does not pay $1,200 dependent check. She changed it. She changed it to $500, what the Republicans have. $500 for adult dependents, $500 for minor dependents. Everyone on SSI, SSDI, SSI, Social Security, railroad benefits who did not get a stimulus check the first time around would get a stimulus check this time around, even if you're an adult dependent, but you're not going to get a full stimulus check. It's $1,200. It's $500, not $1,200. Second, there's no multiple checks like the Problem Solvers bill. Third, the check would not be taken out for child support. So the Democrats have changed that. Remember, the Democrats had taken out for child support. Republicans had not. Democrats are not taking out for child support, not taking out for taxes, for tax liens, and not being taken out for debt collections. All very, very clear. Family of five appears to be where it's sitting at. So family of five will get the checks. FPUC, which I'm going to cover in the video right after this, would be $600 a week all the way until next year. I don't know if that's going to be agreed upon by Steve. I just don't think he is. But I don't think she's going to go to the mat over $500, $600 a week. I think they'll be crazy. Has money for food, schools, rent, PPP, EIDL, EIDL loan, EIDL grant. Of course, no hazard pay, but has those essential workers hazard pay-ish grants of a lot of money administered by CDC, rent, and a lot of other good things, but a lot of other bad things, which is why I got so angry last night. There's a lot of basically stuff that has nothing to do with stimulus. There's an insane amount of giving people salary raises. Let me answer some of your 744 questions from yesterday. JS prayed for all the struggling homeless families. They just refuse to help American people. Janice, I actually wish they would hurry up on stimulus for the American people. Helen Capone, we just lost our jobs through no fault of our own, quarantine ourselves as asked, wear masks as asked, paid our taxes while working our whole lives, and this is what we get in return. I love that, Helen. I love that. Terry Platter, we deserve a lot more than $1,200. Lolita Filler, never going to happen. Vote them all out. Every one of them are worthless. Mike Mays, Trump needs to do executive order so people can live. Michelle Free, where the hell is the FPUC? The politicians disgust me. There's FPUC in here. $600 a week. Dreamweaver, hey, it's not one thing, it's another. Everyone keeps on changing their stories. Well, yeah, they are. You see how it's making me very sort of emotionally up and down in all these videos. You can see it. Wanda, no pilots will be laid off, just cleaner crews and cabin members. Joni, Nancy Pelosi is confused enough to give us lady or no straight back to California. Roger, most likely we the people have no choices to vote them out. Oh, absolutely you do. Denise Dunn, just give the stimulus to the people already. Enough is enough. Natasha, I'm giving up. I've been waiting since 11/3. Coyote Blade, which watch the bill for the airlines be another standalone bill instead of being put into a package while we can't get a single standalone bill for stimulus checks. I love that. Gallup for me, don't diss LA. He's informing us of what's going on. He doesn't have the power to make it happen. If he did, he'd have money by now. He does have the purple power. If you don't like what he's reporting, don't watch. I love that. And 40 likes also liked as well. Tracy Lagarde, I'm new to this, newest too good too true. Elizabeth Hall, we should be getting $2,000 a month. There's no way. That's not enough money. Debbie, what they need to do is wake up before it's too late. Callie Lightson, losing confidence as well as patience. Vanessa, this is so crazy. Why hasn't the pollen solace bill been put to a vote? It's a really good question. We don't know. Robert, something shady's up. USA has been a laughing stock. Sharon, I think when she wakes up in the morning, she thinks, what or whose lives can I screw up today? Oh my goodness. Mary, I basically come to watch LA's sense of humor. We the people are not getting anything. I'm waiting for 11/3. Trump is as responsible as Pelosi. Bobby Lunsford, we the people need to march on Washington. Timothy, if farmers worked as hard as they worked on their vacations, we would already be done. Tamara, I wonder what else would happen in the United States. Candace, I'm sorry, this is just so much. See you after 11/3. No. You're not going to see me after 11/3. Giving up now before we're even to the finish line is, or to the final deadline is not time to give up. Remember, the president can do executive orders. That was the focus of the morning channel and still the morning broadcast and still the focus of this broadcast. The president can still do executive orders, and I really want you to understand that despite what's going on now with this last-ditch efforts, the president can do executive orders and may do executive orders, and that really should be the focus of this channel going forward, despite what's going on with the two powers that be. If you're not subscribed, today is the time to subscribe. Go to the first channel, subscribe. There's a lot of things happening. I'm here for you. You're here. We're going to get through this. We're going to get through this. This is a great community. We're almost to the finish line. We just got to get over it. Also, like this video because, boy, I'm looking out for each and every one of you. Coming up next is FPUC. Big developments. Tune in for that. A lot of twists, a lot of turns. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and stay LA for more.